Welcome back, everybody. This is one of our favorite days of the year. Home Depot has put their merchandise out. I know we've been stalking it online, but as soon as this car gets out of the way, we can head inside and actually make some purchases. Before we go in, I did want to say a special thank you to all the patrons who help support the channel. If you're interested in joining our Fright Club, be sure to check out the link to my Patreon page in the description below. All right, let's go ahead and head on in and see if everything's already sold out. Well, it doesn't look like it. I actually have quite the massive display here. Let's go ahead and take a moment to savor it before we take a closer look at everything. We've got all the wonderful animatronics that we previewed in one of my previous videos. Looks like we've got some inflatables on the wall, of course. Always love those. And a wide variety of skeletons and other little products to help us flesh out our haunt. But come on, I know the reason most of you are here, and that is for the animatronics. So let's go ahead and dive right in, starting with this creepy guy. And honestly, I forgot what he's called, so I went to the website to look him up, and he's not even on there anymore. So check out your local store if you want him.
It is time for you to stop running. There is no escaping me. But I offer you this choice. Allow me to torment you in your nightmares, or dread me all day long while you are awake. Why choose when you can have both?
Honestly, I wasn't too impressed with him on the website. He is really cool in person, though.
Oh, look at what we have here. Subject for my new spell. Transformation.
So that was the animated spellcasting witch for only $100. I love the book she has in her hand. It's a great prop.
I hear there's a splendid bartender in this establishment. Tell him I sent you. I recommend the Bloody Mary. It's extra bloody.
It's Marie the Meddling Maid and Dean the Dithologist. He's awesome, but I do feel a little cheated that one track is just laughing. It's the Gravedigger.
They say this cemetery is haunted. Most of the time, those buried here stay dead. But every once in a while, one pops up and grabs you. So be careful where you dig now. If you're not, they're liable to snatch your ankle and pull you right into them.
We also have the Smoldering Reaper of Souls, a classic.
Stop where you tread, little boy. You have gone far enough. For if you tread further, I cannot guarantee you will ever return. If you found life to stand back now. They are getting toward you.
He's very creepy. In the back, we've got Jack Skellington. I'm going to talk over his audio because I know that's going to get a copyright strike if we include it. So hopefully this will do the trick. And we can also point out we've got the 12-foot skeleton there in the background. I have heard that this is the last year that they are going to have him. So if you want one, you probably want to get it now. He would go very well with that stack of skulls that we saw in the front of this display, as well as that giant skull itself. In the background, too, if you look closely, you're going to see that bone archway. Really love the look of that. I was so tempted to get that, but I have so many big props I already need to buy, so we're going to pass on that one this year. But if you want it, I hope you get it and enjoy it.
Let's send out my new gunpowder! My arm is done! Attention on you! Looks like you're a dud!
We're also definitely passing on Sinister Steve there.
Well, it sure is fun to be back on my favorite spot on the river. It's a perfect night for fishing. My favorite catch are these big piranhas. They are so delicious to eat.
The fisherman there is a nice take on the classic rocking chair witch. We've got the twins here. I couldn't get them to work.
Pause twice under the harvest moon. Don't be surprised when I reach out for you.
I do wish that guy was a little bit more animated, or if his face moved, could have made it a little bit cooler, I think. Next up, we've got some dolls. Again, that could have been improved by some mouth movements, but it's only $100, so what are you going to expect? Next up, we're going to take a look at the showstopper of the display, not the angel and devil here, but the Predator of Night. He was amazing. I love everything about that guy. The wings are so impressive. The mouth movement, the carving, it was just really, really well done. I didn't think it looked as good on the website. It's amazing in person. But I think some of you are going to prefer Lethal Lily.
Happy Halloween! Oh, the stars are in perfect alignment tonight. It must be nearly time to help the spirits arise. Oh, I'm so happy you've come to help celebrate. And so have all my critters slithering around your feet.
And last up, I think, is our big miss of the year. The Swamp Monster, I think, was great in theory, but really bad in execution. Looked comically embarrassing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the general merchandise. I was a little surprised. I think they have a little bit less merchandise than they did in past years. They've got a whole lot of pumpkins and light-up jack-o'-lanterns and things, but they didn't really have a lot of props that I'd want to use to really flesh out a particular display. But they have some interesting lighting effects too, though, like those landscape light lenses. I usually find, though, I can buy some colored transparencies and put them over my landscape lights, and I get the same effect, probably for a heck of a lot cheaper than that. Other lighting effects, it looks like, so whatever's shining here, that little pumpkin man, is not what's in the picture on the box. So hopefully they'll be getting a little bit more of the lighting effects. $35 for that swirl effect, though, seemed a little bit pricey. I'm pretty sure I bought that or something very similar for my ghost display last year. It really is a nice light, though. All right, if you want some other decorative lights, string lights to put up your driveway or pathway, they've got you covered here. Lots of different options. LEDs, of course, are the way to go. You can get a lot more strings attached together if you have a long distance cover like I generally do at my driveway. And I love them a lot, much like those twinkling bats there. We're going to see those in the display here in a second. But I wish they had those last year. I was certainly looking for something of that sort. If you were going to do a vampire display, you've got all these sort of blinking light effects, but certainly that Predator of the Night with the big wings there would just really sell a vampire display. I wish I was doing that again this year, but I did it last year. Be sure to check out my previous walkthroughs if you're interested to see how that turned out. Like I was saying, they did have a lot of pumpkin options here, and I'm not complaining because I really love that you can get kind of like a creepy face or a smiley face, a bunch of different ways, however you want to decorate.
Be afraid. Welcome from the depths of the graveyard. Frightening, isn't it?
There's something spooky out tonight, and I think it's you.
Of course, Home Depot really surprised us a few years back with the rotted pumpkins that are just simply amazing. And now you can get them that talk. That is fantastic. Really like the ones, though, that light up and have that realistic flame effect. I actually bought one of the rotten pumpkins that I think we'll see here in a second. That was one of the things I absolutely loved about it, was that flaming effect looked so real. And the pumpkin looked like a realistic rotting pumpkin. One thing to be careful about, though, is that it did make a noise. So I think to get that swirling flame effect, there's a light that moves around inside, and it causes a bit of a noise that bothers me. So especially if you're going to use it inside, it's very noticeable. Can't really hear it here in the store so much, but you will in a quiet setting. That pumpkin with little crazy eyes that we just saw was, I don't know what to think about that. But some of these are starting to get a little plasticky looking, which kind of upsets me. One thing I really liked again about that rotten pumpkin was how realistic it looked. Once they start getting a little too plasticky looking, it just totally ruins that effect. At least they do have a lot of different options, though, for you to choose from, no matter what you are looking for. I can't tell if that pumpkin on the end, if its smile was supposed to look like that, or if someone kicked his face in. There are those bats that I was talking about before. I absolutely love those. And there was that blinking bat on the top there. If you saw it, I actually bought that last year for my vampire display and did a review on it. So check that out if you are interested. All right, I'm super disappointed that the alligator or crocodile, whatever it is, doesn't snap or make some noise. That would have been great. But we've got all these sorts of skeletons. Of course, there's these little ones that don't look realistic at all, except for maybe that spider, I guess. But the dogs themselves were kind of cool. Really like how they've incorporated the one that has the fur this year. Kind of makes it more of a zombie dog. We have an assortment of tombstones. Now, looking at their preview videos and the website, they had some really awesome tombstones that they don't have on display here, which I'm a little disappointed about. But we do have this cool looking gargoyle on the end. I know we had the griffins before, but did we have the gargoyle? I don't think so. All right, a little bit of creepy cloth here if you're interested. I'm sure that's not what they call it, but it's all the same thing, I guess. We have a 3-foot skeleton here. He had some crazy eyes. They do have another 3-foot skeleton like the big one, but it's not here. I love the light up bottle on that one. That was a nice touch. We have some small dolls to go with the bigger ones. Very creepy. I think in my previous videos, I got a little bit of flack for not testing all of those little doll things that make noise. Definitely not my cup of tea, but whoever out there wants to see that, there you go. Pressed all those buttons that I could. So we've got some bigger items down here. I think, I'm not really sure what these are, just little blow mold type animals. Kind of cute. All right, we've got inflatables. Now, this is where I think Home Depot really could do a little bit better. These are very cute, and I think what we have here is like they've got their animatronics and whatnot that appeal to the scarier side of Halloween. And I guess they're just relying on the inflatables to be the cute, kid-friendly part of Halloween. I'm the type of decorator that likes to incorporate inflatables and animatronics in displays. So I'm a little disappointed. I mean, I guess that little ghost there is probably the closest we get to anything scary. So I'm a little disappointed that we couldn't incorporate any of those into my current display. But they've got some fog machine stuff if you are interested in that. And here are the boxes for some of those animatronics if you want to get an idea of the pricing. Sorry, I did not get all of the boxes, but of course, prices are on the website if you're interested. They have very affordable ones from $99 up to the couple $100 ones for the more motion-oriented animatronics. A couple of different wreath options for only $20, so that's not a bad deal. But I think our best deal is coming up. So it's these skeletons, of course. They're pretty standard, light up red eyes, but they're only $30. I was complaining earlier this season that the skeletons these days have just gotten outrageously expensive. So I'm glad Home Depot is keeping that price down for us. It's certainly much appreciated, as are these fun detailed tombstones that they've come up with this year. Now, a little disappointed in that obelisk on the website. I don't know, I just envisioned it to be much bigger, but it's pretty tiny, so a little disappointed in that. Do love the angel. I added that one to my graveyard last year. It looks great. If you wanted something that's a bit more cartoony, you have these tin versions. I guess those things, though, are a heck of a lot easier to store because all of the big tombstones that I bought from here last year take up so much space in my storage room. So if you have a big graveyard like this, let me know. What do you do with them? All right, we've got a good assortment of other skeletons this year. Again, if you're doing a vampire theme, you've got a bat skeleton, very awesome. And then these corpsey looking ones. I don't know what it is about his face, but it looks inherently evil. I did buy a couple of these, though, last year. I was a little disappointed that mouth doesn't close. That was a bit of a problem for me. For $10, you can get a spider. I think they're always great for decorating. And I picked up myself a bag of bones. I've seen these, of course, every year. And this year I had to pick one up for my display. I just wish it looked a little bit more corpsey. I also picked up a floor mat, not one of these. These actually light up, which is a pretty neat concept. I did buy one of those several years ago, tested it this year, it didn't work. But I bought this haunted house one. Welcome to our haunted house, since the entryway into my living room this year is just a general haunted house. But they do have a lot of different options. Some fall options, of course. Wish there were a little bit more Halloween-oriented ones to be a little bit more scary. But it looks like we may have run out of scary merchandise. If you want some scarecrows or hay bales or cute little yard signs, again, Home Depot has got you covered. We've got spooky bats and a little ghost, pumpkins, cats. There's a little witch in the background. Or if you just want some lighted solar decor for your garden, or wherever really, you got a pumpkin, a cat, a witch. I think there was even a ghost back there. But that's going to do it for our 2023 walkthrough of Home Depot. Again, you're going to want to check out their website. There were a few things that are web exclusives that were pretty cool. Check out my other Home Depot preview video if you want to see some of those things in action. But make sure you're subscribed if you want more store walkthroughs. Till then, take care and happy haunting.